So you want to buy a property for less than it's actually worth. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over the top 5 ways where you can actually have a chance at making that happen. Now, I'm not going to go over all of the conventional ways or all of the methods that you've already heard of, like closures and teardowns and all of that stuff. I'm going to go over some maybe other ways that you probably haven't heard of. Starting with number 5, multiple price reductions. Usually homes that have sustained multiple price reductions, 2 or more, ideally 3. At that point, the psychology of a seller is really starting to break down. They're starting to really have conversations with themselves being like, is this ever going to sell? What's wrong with the property? Am I never going to sell this thing? And chances are, if they've actually price reduced that property 3 times, they're probably a motivated seller who does actually need to sell. And they're getting towards the point of capitulation. Now, if you don't know what capitulation is, Google that word, or maybe my editor can throw it up on the screen here. Basically means that they're getting towards the point of giving up. And in the stock market, this is usually at the end of a bear market, and then usually the market will just completely shit its pants and start tanking at the point of capitulation because everybody is giving up. So when you get to a property that's sustained multiple price reductions, the chances that the seller is going to be getting towards that point of capitulation is a lot higher than it otherwise would be. Number 4, vacant units that have been listed for a while. So the owner of a vacant property that has been listed for a minute is starting to have those discussions with themselves too. Like, I just need to get rid of this thing, because a lot of the time they are hemorrhaging money every single month. Maybe not all the time, like maybe they don't have a mortgage on it, whatever it may be, but if they're paying strata fees, they're also paying property tax, insurance, they have to heat the place. They're losing money either way. But added tip, you can actually have your realtor check the title to see if there's a charge on title. Charge is a mortgage. And if they do have a charge, then you know that they are hemorrhaging money. So if a unit is vacant and it's been sitting there for a while, there's a good chance that you might be willing to negotiate a better deal on it, because the seller realizes that they're losing money the longer it sits on the market anyways. Number 3, you're going to subscribe to the channel. No, but number 3 is actually properties that have multiple owners on title. So let's just say you find a property and you want to write an offer 60 grand below the asking price. Now, if there was one owner on title for this property, in their mind, they're going to be like, well, I'm getting 60 grand less than the number that I actually want. And that's a pretty big amount to have to stomach. However, if that 60 grand is split up across 3 people, now those 3 people are thinking, well, it's only 20 grand less than I initially wanted. So when you have a property with more than one owner, it's a lot easier to get the sellers to agree on the price that you would like to pay. Number 2 is properties with multiple charges listed on title. So we talked about this in number 4. A charge is a mortgage. Your realtor can pull that title and actually see if the owners have more than one mortgage on that title. Now, not every home that has 2 mortgages is actually going to be in trouble, but I'm saying the likelihood of them being in trouble is a lot higher, especially in a market like the one we're in right now, where mortgage rates are at 6.5%. It's even possible one of those mortgages might be with a B lender. Maybe it's at 7%. Who knows? But the likelihood that they're going to be in trouble is a lot higher, meaning the likelihood that you're going to be able to negotiate a better price is a lot higher. And the fact that they have 2 mortgages, there's a strong likelihood that that is the exact reason why they are now selling that property, because mortgage rates just went up 5%. Because obviously this could suggest that the seller is in over their heads and they need to sell, meaning they are motivated to get rid of that property. Number 1, and this is the best, clean your offer up. In real estate, you get price or terms, but you rarely ever get both. And what I mean by that is, if you want to write an offer on a property, let's just say, hey, Mr. Seller, I want to give you 60 grand below your asking price, but I also need to sell my home before I can buy this one. We call that a subject to sale offer. From the seller's standpoint, he's like, I'm not getting the price I want, and I have to wait a month to see if you will actually buy this property in a market that's going down. That doesn't make very much sense for me. So the price and the terms are both favored to your liking, which very unlikely you're actually going to buy a property getting price and terms. So what I mean by cleaning up your offer is, if you go in subject free, no financing, no inspection, no subject to sale, none of that stuff, and you give the seller the dates that they want, they're going to be a lot more inclined to take a lower price, because you're getting price, they're getting terms. And in a lot of cases, terms actually save the seller money, especially if they have a B loan coming up for renewal, a private mortgage coming up for renewal. Maybe they're moving somewhere and they don't have to get a bridge loan now because you're giving them the dates that they want. There's a lot of ways you can actually save the seller money by giving them terms, in which case would allow you to pay less money for the home. home. Now, going in subject free isn't going to be the best way for everyone to buy a home, especially not first-time home buyers. But if you're an investor or somebody that has a lot of cash and you have the proper safety measures in place, going in subject free, giving the seller the dates they want is by far the best and easiest way to make sure that you pay less money than the seller actually wanted to get for that home. So keep it simple, stupid. That's it. That's all, folks. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this. Like this video. I'm that Agent Kelly, and I'm making moves to move you. Peace.